My role within Teradici in Europe is basically to generate revenue, evangelize PC over IP as a protocol, and that's for both VDI and for workstation products, and to help Teradici establish itself as a major player in the protocol arena.
Okay, can you short explain what PC over IP is designed to do, where it's used?
Okay, so Teradici as a company was formed specifically to do remote desktop applications and remote desktop protocols. So the whole point of what we do at Teradici was to ensure that there's a fabulous user experience when the...
Can you tell me something about the team composition?
Our team is based out of Vancouver in Canada. That's where our headquarters. They come from various backgrounds, from IBM, Dell, PMC, NVIDIA, C-Cube, many high-tech companies, lots of video compression technology and expertise within the company, and also a lot of networking expertise. And when you put those two things together, you have a very powerful way of creating a remote desktop protocol.
Okay, we already know remote desktop protocols from Citrix, ICA or Microsoft RDP. Can you tell the difference shortly between PC over IP and those two?
Yeah, the difference is quite simple. We're purely host-based algorithm. There's no post-processing done on the client side. So everything is done in the host. So we take the pixels, we compress them, we encrypt them, and we send them across the network. And it's basically a very simple decoder function at the other end. But we also do audio and USB redirection.
Okay, I hear a lot of good stuff, but why is it so great? Why should every company want to start using the PC over IP protocol?
As I said, the company was formed in 2004 specifically to figure out how to do a reasonable user experience with remote protocol. Frankly, I'm not sure that the end user has ever been fairly treated in this arena. You yourself have seen it today. You've seen how well it works. You've seen that it doesn't matter what the codec is, what the application is, it just works. And if I come along with a new video codec tomorrow, I don't have to worry about a patch or anything like that. It's just going to work. And that's what users need, and that's what IT managers need. They need to roll something out that they know is going to help them operate in the future.
Yeah, totally. We saw the demo earlier. You told during the demo that PC over IP is independent from the network, that it has less effect on network latency. Can you explain why that is?
Yeah, but you need to be very careful to make sure you separate bandwidth and latency. Bandwidth does certain things to your optical visual quality, and latency can do other things. We've operated on latencies well over 200 milliseconds round trip with a perfectly reasonable experience. If you're operating over a wide area network and you've got greater than about 75 milliseconds of latency, the first thing that you notice is the mouse is less responsive. It doesn't operate quite as it would as if there was zero latency. There are some nice things you can do with that. You can paint them. The mouse can be painted locally and mask out the rebounding host base mouse so that you don't actually see the lag. That technique actually is, is kind of a psycho-visual effect, but it works actually very well. And in terms of, if you're just streaming video through PC over IP, we actually don't care what the latency is. It can be well over 250 milliseconds. And I actually saw a link from London to New York where we were up at 350 milliseconds at one point. That's at least what the figures were telling me. So that was horrible. Yeah, I mean, we tend to keep bandwidth and latency separated, and there are some horrible effects of latency, but generally, local area networks operate in 1 to 2 milliseconds of latency, so the end user would just never see anything. It would be just like his PC's under his desk.
That's good. PC over IP is now in software edition available when VMware View 4 arrives.
Yeah.
Will there be some kind of host card, some offloading engine for ESX service hosting virtual machines?
Yeah, we're taking a look at that right now, and we plan to do that. Right now, the PC over IP generation for each VM is being done by the CPU, but we're definitely looking for something within the coming year that will offload all of the virtual machine generation from the CPU. And that should really considerably help consolidation ratios.
What's the expected consolidation right now?
We think that anywhere between 30% and 50% increase in consolidation ratio. But again, I keep coming back to it. It all depends what your application is, how many pixels are changing on the screen, and what the use case is for the customer.
Can you tell a little bit about future plans for Teradici with the PC over IP protocol?
Yeah, we want to take it to the next level. We've got a new chip planned. In that we've certainly identified some areas where we can get the bandwidth down even further. It's pretty good right now, but we can keep going on that treadmill. Less bandwidth is always good, and less latency is always good as well. So these are the things we're focused on. We're focused on the kind of the N-to-1 offloading and also improving the workstation experience. So basically, we're trying to peel back all the layers of the onion. So if you have an enterprise, you've got the real rock stars who use the very high power workstations, super graphics for CAD packages, all the way through to someone perhaps who sits on the front desk and checks people in for a meeting. They can all run on the one protocol.
That's good. Sounds good.
It is good.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.